Hey guys, Geno Zero. I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you're in. Okay, in this video, we're going to be talking about storing your food items after you've had them canned, and also storing your jars and your rings and your lids. Lids are easy to store because usually you buy them in just little boxes and they can be easily stacked in a shelf or someplace out of the way. Jars. I have two different sets of jars. We have jars that we use that are in rotation all the time, and I try to keep these boxes that the jars come in when we buy them. And you can see I've got one marked, circled the wide mouth, and one with the regular mouth circled. And I know that after we use one of our jars for a meal, then we'll take that jar and wash it and store it in the rotation boxes. That way we've got jars readily available, and if we need more jars, then we will get another dozen jars. We also have some jars here that are what I call my emergency stock jars. I have 5 dozen new jars that have not been opened yet, and the reason is because if there's ever a prolonged power outage, we're going to need to do something with the stuff that we have in the freezer. So I have 5 dozen jars that within the first 36 or 48 hours of a power outage, if you realize that the power is not going to be coming back on anytime soon, then we still have clean, sanitary, brand new, unused jars with lids and rings, everything right here we need to can up and store the food that we have in our freezer. So, and all the other jars, we'll just keep them in these other rotation collection here that we have. And when we need to add to this, we will, but we always keep some for emergency purposes. Storing your rings, because I don't store most of the stuff that we can. We store it with the rings off, like this stuff here. That way it prevents rusting to the top of the lid, and there's no chance that the rust is going to compromise the integrity of the seal that you have on here. So most of the stuff that we have, we store with the rings off and just the lid. I learned this trick from Prepper Homestead. This is just a piece of fishing line with a dowel rod tied onto the end of it and a hook. This is a very effective way to store a lot of your rings, and you can just hang it on a shelf, and it takes up very little space. And then we've seen where I use also a coat hanger, a wire coat hanger with a couple of hooks on the ends of them that'll store quite a few rings, and it's also very effective, and it just hangs right out of the way. We store the majority of our canned goods in our pantry area, which we have dark curtains, and we have the window covered because we want to keep our pantry as cool and dark as we can to avoid any kind of spoilage for the things that we have canned up in the jar. Excess light and excess heat will lead to a faster spoilage of the food that you have in your jars. So we will always take, before we bring them into the pantry to store, we'll always make a label, what's in the jar, and the date that it was canned, so that we know that we can use our rotation system and put the newest stuff to the back and the oldest stuff to the front. That way you're always keeping it rotated using the oldest stuff first. And then we just store them in here on our shelves in a cool, dark pantry, and you're good to go. It'll last properly canned and properly stored. Your food will last for many, many years. So this is just like I said, a quick video on a couple of tips on how we store our canned food and our jars and our rings. I hope this little series has helped for all the beginner canners out there, and hopefully a couple of little tips and tricks in the comments, which has been really good. Thank you very much for participating in the comment section. It has been very, very helpful and a great learning experience even for me. So I think maybe in the next video we'll get into some dehydrating and go from there. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. God bless. And if I can do it, you can do it. The end. Buzz, buzz. The end.